The time before the ejection was one where you could look outside and smile at the person that lived next to you. It was a period in history where everyone was proud to live on the floating rock that we called home. Every day, new technology was being developed to make lives easier, healthier, and more enjoyable. Every day felt like an opportunity to be proud and to be grateful. That was what ultimately led to our downfall. The year was 2049, a normal day. Families said their goodbyes and went to work. The elderly sat in their rocking chairs, watching cars and ships drive and fly overhead. Kids played on the playgrounds at school during recess. Things felt normal. My great-great-great-grandmother told my great-great-grandmother, and my great-grandmother heard it from her, and my mom's mom heard it from her mom, and of course, what I tell you now has been passed down from generations. Janelope was only 17 when this story starts, but somehow, every time I tell it, it feels like I was there. The window shook once, and the class stopped. They were talking about Shakespeare and the meaning of the word tragedy. You see, tragedy is something that normally doesn't have a happy ending. Romeo and Juliet is a perfect example. The class snapped their heads almost in unison, like it was practice, to focus their sights out of the window that lined the classroom walls as what just produced a noise like that. On Earth, my great-great-great-grandmother always said that you were used to hearing noises. Warp drives kicking on at the local arrivals and departures port. A quantum rod-powered car taking off down a drag strip. Sometimes, even the city's sirens blaring to warn of a new fuel test. This felt different. Okay, let's try and refocus everyone. We all have heard the tests, we've all heard the takeoffs. Now this shouldn't be new to anyone. Again, this time the floor shook. Everyone, please report to the auditorium for an emergency school meeting. The intercom rang through the room as the voice cut out. The reverberation of the speaker cut through the air like a ship through the atmosphere. Everyone made their way to the auditorium. Okay, and then what happened? I snapped out of whatever daydream I was in. I realized that I left the story hanging in the air. The patrons of the bar were dangling on my last word before I went off into my own head for a few seconds. Well, and then they were told that there was a war brewing with their artificial intelligence, I declared. Aw, come on, Tech. Clearly that's what happened. But it's rare that we get to hear it from someone whose ancestors were actually there, one of the patrons said as he frustratingly slapped his hand on his lap, drink in his other hand. Yeah, but it's getting late. I think I need some sleep, I said, trying to diffuse some tension in the room. Ah, man, well, whatever. You need to stay here or are you good getting home? The bartender asked. I was new to this settlement. I've only been here for a couple days, but the people here were really kind, and that went a long way to me. Well, walk safe. See you later, everyone said as I got up. Thanks. I left the bar, and the cold thin air of the night hit me. I started to walk and slipped into my thoughts again. Flashes of the rest of the story entered my consciousness as I made my way back to the ship. Janelope, leaving school and rushing home. Leaving with a bag, her parents nowhere to be found. Boarding an emergency vessel. Everyone said these ships were newly developed with a style of warp drive that can shepherd them far away to a new galaxy. I reached my ship's doors without even thinking about it. I was hypnotized by the details, I guess. The door swung open and I took my boots off. My eyes grew heavier. Then, my data pad buzzed in my pocket. A new message? Coordinates. With a name. Watchdog. Oh, well, I thought to myself before I rested for the night. Duty calls.